Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. It is the preview for this weekend's game against Sunderland. Dad, what you gotta say then?
Well, I'm beginning to wonder, Dan, whether or not it's going to be an awful April for Albion, whether it's going to be an outstanding April for Albion, or whether it's going to be a bang average April for Albion. Let's just quickly cover the Norwich game because, like you and thousands of other boys and girls and ardent West Brom fans, you made that arduous journey, which it would have crucified my back.
Yes, it did.
I could see the writing on the wall, Dan. But you know something, we're just not learning our lessons. And can I just get some off the chest, please?
Yeah, go for it.
We keep on blaming Tony Mowbray. We keep on blaming past managers. When are the current crop of Albion players gonna deliver? Because for me, they're conning us because we've got players right who are a lot more capable. Yes, I know you're going to blame John Swift for the goal, but it ain't just his fault. But anyway, on to the Sunderland game. I'm going to be brutal.
We're going to
I'm
go
going
straight
for a
away.
three.
What was that?
Go on.
You going straight for your prediction?
Yeah, I'm going for a 3-1 loss.
For a loss. Okay. We'll
I
talk about
don't
that in a
want
minute.
I
Pardon?
don't want it to be, but I just remember when we needed to get the points against Sunderland a couple of seasons back, and we just buckled. But anyway, go on, mate. Don't let me be the dick again.
No, I was going to speak about Norwich quickly. Overall, I just thought it was interesting the comments from Tony Mowbray actually saying that he thought if we're going to win, if we're going to play like that every week, we're going to get in the playoffs 100%. And while I can see it, I completely can't because I just felt I think many people were saying we were playing it around, we were dominating the game, this, that, and the other. While we're dominating the game, yes, I get it. Realistically, Dad, can you tell me one chance that we had that you could remember thinking to yourself, we should have scored that? Not really. There's one at the end, that's it. Because I don't really think we're making that good opportunities anymore. We're playing the wrong,
Oh,
we're
hang
playing,
on,
we're
hang
playing,
on.
we're playing the wrong players, Dad, in my opinion. And this is where we got to be brutal. Don't get me wrong. I think Adam Armstrong's a brilliant player, and he is, and he's got the quality. But when we brought on Will Lancashire, he had more touches of the ball than Armstrong did. And in 10 minutes, are you taking the piss? Realistically, it's shown there. We need a hold-up man up top, which we're not doing at the moment. So what are we
Yeah.
saying? Are we saying we play with Adam Armstrong and he's going to sit there? And he clearly isn't getting the support week in, week out. So why are we doing the same thing over and over? I personally think that this is where Moby really needs to change it up because Norwich was a game where we should have really won. Let's be real, we should have easily got the 3 points there. And a bit of stupid ball from Swift at the end, which I know you knew I was going to mention, but it was a stupid ball. There was no need to go for a silly ball in the last minute. But saying that again, Holgate getting done over the back from I think it's Nunez's ball round to Sargent. He should be watching his man at the end. And to be fair, I just feel at this point in the season, Dad, it's a bit like the game against Oxford. These points are going to really cost us.
Yeah, well said there. I think your comment about the hold-up man is absolutely perfect and well brought to the table. I think from my perspective, I think that there's a hell of a lot more positives than negatives. Let's take the emotion out of it. And I think that I know that you love your stats, but my argument is this, right? I'd rather not have any possession and get a last-minute winner. The possession stats look all lovely for whoever creams herself on the stats. But for me, right, the bottom line is this: we are not capable of delivering on what we need, and it's about time, right? The hierarchy. I know we've got to be ambitious, and I know we've got to be sustainable. But listen, if anybody can get us out of the mire, it will be Tony Mowbray with his attacking football. But I am sick and tired, right, of the same players turning up, earning the money, right? There's only so much a manager can do. You don't need a manager to tell you to take shots, do you? I mean, let's be critical now, right? John Swift, the reason we got him because he was shit.
I won't say
Yeah?
because he ran out his contract. It's one of those players where he's a luxury player, isn't he?
Yeah, but
But again, this is where I think as fans we look at players where while I think John Swift is a luxury player and he is a luxury player, you can't always pinpoint on him because realistically in that game we didn't create anything of sort. We had one chance of Grant where I think outside the box shooting a goal. Other than that, I can't really see us scoring just because we kept on the shots outside the box. And while we used to moan at Carlos Corbin saying we're from side to side, side to side, we haven't changed. We haven't changed at all. In that game, we didn't at all.
Bloody booyah.
No, but
I've
no,
been
really, no, no,
saying,
you gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish that today. You gotta let me finish that. So, what I'm trying to say is, we're playing side-side football, but why are we not just getting in there? Because if you look at it, Dad, you said my possession stats then, and I like possession, but again, this is where it's not proven right. I saw a thing on Twitter saying that the last 5 games we've had the most ball possession in an away game, right? How many of those games, in the last 5 games away from home, have we won, Dad? Have a
we
guess.
haven't, have we?
We've
Because
won
that's none.
zero. We've won zero. And the last 5 games where we haven't had as much of the ball, and the other team has the more the ball of us, we've got at least a point. And we haven't won a
Yeah,
game since November away from home. Isn't that talent?
yeah. I do take on your point, and the point's extremely well made. But there comes a time, right, when somebody's somewhere within the Albion hierarchy. I'll take it back a minute. I apologise. Is John Swift's not shit? I just expected a bit more of him. And if you remember, when we went to Reading many seasons ago, that's more or less what they said. He's got it. I got to think he's got a confidence problem. I think psychologically, Albion haven't got the kahunas, and I'm mulling it over in my head. But what you've got to imagine, it's just a job to them. Just because we turn up or you turn up in your thousands, it doesn't mean they've got to deliver. I think that game is typical Albion. The first half, we should have had it dead and buried. We did make chances, Dan. We made abundance of chances, but they weren't taken. And for once, you've got to credit the goalie. He
No, I was
got
going to
us
mention
out of
that.
jail. He got us out of
Yes, no, I do
jail.
agree with that with Joe Waldsmith. I thought he had
Hang
a
on,
really, really good game.
let me talk now.
Go
You've
on.
had your chance. I just think that my criticism of Saturday, from what I heard and what I saw, was that the timing and the decision on the substitutes. I've just made some notes. Already possession wise, Albion dominated. Many more positives than negatives. Question the desire of the players to deliver what's needed. Second half, Albion dipped, and the game as a competition, I think, was over. I think there's no point dominating games and not delivering. Too late with the subs. We just need the Albion players with the quality to step up. Even players who haven't got the quality need to step up. Dan, listen, Ishmael Miller, Stevie Bruce, King Carlos, they've all had the same problems. So it's the definition of madness. You're going to do the same thing over and over again. You're going to get the same results. What we need, and shut up. We
Go
need
on.
this. We need the owners now, right, to make a stance, right, break the bank and go and get a proven goal scorer. Just to, I don't know, because let me give you a conundrum. What would you rather do? Would you rather do what Blues have done, go down and barnstorm through the next division and get to Wembley, or would you do exactly as we're doing, getting free transfers, getting Mexican road sweepers coming in, getting the money, and just drifting along and building our hopes up? Because let's be honest, Dan. Let's be honest. I actually think Tony Mowbray's playing a psychological game because he knows that team are good enough to get out of the championship, but they're not good enough to stay in the championship. So he'll lose his job. If we go up, he ain't going to keep them up. So I class the Albion as being a nearly team. We're bang average in a bang average league, and we should be right up there. So is it Mowbray's fault? Is it the players' fault? Is it our fault for being all the expectations? But saying that, we could still do it.
Yeah, it's actually right. So about who would you blame, guys? Put it in the comment section down below, especially for last weekend's game. But it's some good points that you said there, Dad. I think this is where I think when you said about the striker situation, saying that we need to bring a striker, they brought a striker, Adam Armstrong, hasn't worked, and you forget, and we got Josh Madger. You know what I mean? He scored, I think it's 13 goals this season. And when he comes back, he's probably going to score some more. And I think when we were from home, he got a hat trick away first game of the season. Away from home, he was unbelievable. And I think it was a link of play with Grant. I thought going on Grant, actually. I thought he had an all right game. I thought he had something to
Oh, did
bring,
you?
actually.
Yeah.
Especially Callum Stars as well. I sent the video. I thought he had a really, really good game at left back again. And he's proven his worth at the moment. And then I think Joe Waldsmith, I thought, again, there is some positives. I thought he had a really good game. What annoys me a little bit about, I think, It's mixed because people are saying his distribution isn't as good. But to be
Put
fair,
that down, Walton.
yeah, Walter, his distribution
Yeah,
isn't as good. But
I'd
on
agree.
occasion, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I think sometimes, let's be real, he's got to hoof it long because otherwise we're going to piss about the back and people start groaning and moaning anyway, which I hate. And I think most people hate, but people have their opinion and that's what they do. But sometimes I just think with Joe Wall-Smith, I have a bit of comments under him. And I think people have been saying, I think it was Button. Then he's going to lose his confidence. And that's what happened. He started going down and down and down. But Joe Wall-Smith has done the complete opposite. And he's got a lot more confidence to his belt and made a brilliant save in that first half against Sargent. And he looked really, really comfortable in the whole game, I thought. And he couldn't really do much about the last minute goal, which Norwich scored.
That was crucified, wasn't it?
It was, but overall, I just think with Albion at this moment in time, I just think while we need some leaders in the squad, which I'm not really seeing, I'll be honest with you, because at that moment in the time of the game, there should be a time for calm and really with the John Smith pass, I'm going to go on it again. There was no need for it, but I just want to quickly rise up was the fact that I think it was Mason Holgate. I don't know what on earth he's doing for watching Josh Sargent for the goal, and I think there. I don't know what it was that in the last minute of the game. So I thought it was one of those moments where we could have really kept the ball a bit more, created one more chance. But saying that, even if we create one more chance, I couldn't see us scoring because we were going right to left, right to left. We put in balls in the box. One, they didn't have enough quality, and two, there was no one in there at all. And while you brought up the substitutions, Dad, it took until the 78th minute for Tony Mowbray to bring on a substitution, and it didn't really impact the game as much as it could have. Because I thought if we brought on Lancashire or even DK a lot earlier, it could have really, really made an impact. And Norwich are a good side. And I even said we maybe said in the preview, Dad, we're not really might not even get something there, and we might have only got a point. But a point's a point till the end of the day, isn't it?
It is. I think, well, I don't think I know you talk a lot of sense, but isn't it refreshing? Let's just pick on the positive because there's more positives than negatives. We're still in the chasing pack, right? For once, we're not blaming dodgy refereeing decisions because I remember going to Carrow Road and we had a shocker. But listen, to dig out one player, in my eyes, is wrong because yes, he made a mistake, but if people made a mistake in allowing that to happen anyway. And I actually think, and you love my analogies with the boxing, I'd class Albion, right, as being a contender,
Yep.
right? And they dominate rounds 1 to 11. And come the 12th round, right, they're coasting on points. And then they just switch off and get the knockout blow all over. So I question the concentration, but I'm also beginning to think it's a confidence thing, and I think the pressure's building on them, and I think it's quite obvious to me that we've got far too many probably attacking options that aren't working. I'm borderline going to admit that I'm beginning to wonder whether Armstrong is an Albion player. Has he got the ability? Because as I keep alluding to, if he was still firing all cylinders, we wouldn't have him. However, you just don't know the intricacies of what's going on. He might have a confidence problem. Then, and just very quickly, is Maja 100% agree with you. He ticked all the boxes. But I think for once, you have got a proportion, a lot of bad luck on Albion in as much as Daryl DK, it just hasn't worked. I don't think he will work. However, he could be the saviour. Now, the only thing I will say in Mowbray's defence, and it's not a get out of jail, it's a straightforward, honest, not excuse, is a potential reason. Is we had players on international duty who have flown around
I was
all the
surprised
different
he didn't
countries.
play because he was had a
Yeah,
groin injury, I think it was.
exactly. So, we've got to bear in mind that they do need rest and recuperation. And you yourself went there, I didn't. It's a long, grueling
But
journey. But
so do other players, Dad, when they go there. I think that's why I do agree and disagree with that point. But I've got to quickly mention Colin Harris, Dad. He put on the preview vlog the fact that the actual scoreline itself, the Albion will piss about for the whole game and exactly will lose in the last minute of the game like I do a Josh Sargent
I
goal.
read
So
that.
fair play. I don't want to say fair play to you, Colin, but honestly, fair play for getting it right, spot on. Good lorry numbers, by the way. Uh, it's
Just
just one of
goes to
those, isn't
show.
it?
It just goes to show, Dan, the lovely comments that we have, and long may it continue. I'm really thrilled that people do take the time. It's the Albion fans know their onions. And I even said 1-0, and I could just see it. So, yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go on.
What was Basically what was the difference between Albion and Norwich?
They took their chances, we didn't.
Josh Sargent, proven goal scorer.
Again, but Dad, we've got goal scorers in our team. Let's be honest, we have. And that's what annoys me about it because while we're not utilising it in the right way, Adam Armstrong can score goals, we know that. John Swift can score goals, we know that. Tom Fellows can create chances, we know that. And that's what annoys me. And while this, the only point I would say is people are saying, oh, why on earth aren't we bringing DK on? The man
No,
clearly, I don't think he's going to last the 90 minutes. He's not going to be a
yeah,
90-minute player, is he? Will Lancashire,
yeah,
he's a young guy. He's really raw at the moment. I think when he played against
yeah.
Mill, people kind of moaned and said he's not the greatest at that time. But I think that's where maybe he needs to integrate it a bit more. Because I don't think, as I said then, DK is going to be a 90-minute player. So that's why we need to work to Adam Armstrong's strengths a bit more because he's got the quality and he had it in the game. And I think it's one of the first times in the championship. I don't even remember have a shot on target or a shot at all. So I don't think he did, Adam Armstrong. So again, we've been reiterating so many times, but what does Mowbray see on the training ground? Saying Adam Armstrong to start every week on his own up top because it's clearly not working.
Well, I'll tell you what he sees, Dan. I think that being me and you being around football for as long as we have, we all look brilliant on the training ground. We all look fantastic because we're with our mates, colleagues, and we're happy in the environment. I think that what we've got to be really careful of as fans is our expectation levels. If we went a goal behind against Sunderland and we start booing, the players are going to lose it because I think mentally they're quite fragile. Let's be pragmatic about it. Is you put yourself in Adam Armstrong's position, right? He's a proven goal scorer, professional footballer. He's scored goals wherever he's played, right? And I, for one, if somebody had said get him, I'd have got him, and we've got him. So there's clearly a problem, or it might be just bad luck. You know what? I'm not going to slate him because
I'm not
I actually
slating him. I
think.
just think it's the way we're playing
Hang
to
on,
him.
hang on, you've had yours. Look, never mind.
Yeah.
I just think that between now and the running, we're going to have a slice of luck, and I think that it only needs two cracking goals in the game scored by Armstrong. We're off and running because there's no doubt about it, Dan. Technically, we are a good side. I think that we've proved ourselves. I mean, it does infuriate me when I read about Norwich. Just goes to show that they can play against the big boys, i.e., we're the big boys. But so can we. So can we.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
let's not forget, right? Financially, we haven't played a huge amount of money in. We're still trying to sort it out behind the scenes. So, for once, I'm going to give them credit. Yes, they go to Norwich. Yes, they have the sucker punch. But if I was Mowbray, and I know that he did lay into him, I'd say bottle that feeling because if you have that again, we're going to sort this out. And I'd say to him, if you don't want to, if you haven't got the balls to step up, don't bother playing. Don't
No,
get
I
your
agree.
appearance money. Don't bother playing.
No, I agree, Dad. Because what's interesting was I thought we were the complete better team against Norwich, but then when it's going to come against a team like Sunderland this week, and it's going to be an interesting game because that's where we really, really need step because especially as Middlesbrough won on the weekend, they're level on points of us, and Bristol City are, and Coventry are fifth place at this moment in time. We need to keep winning games, and there's some real, real tough fixtures coming up. So we'll come on to Sunderland this weekend, Dad. As you said, you think we're going to lose 3-1. Why do you think that?
Because I think that we're fragile. I think that it's really mentally hurt them that they didn't control the game the way they should. And it's almost like having a game of pass the parcel, but you didn't unwrap the present when you had the opportunity. It's almost like you're saying, a case of we got on the dance floor too late when the music stopped. I think that they will be mentally fragile and thinking, oh no, if we go one goal behind, let's just say this is I'm gonna predict it. Wald Smith will get caught out something really simple. Instead of coming for the ball, he stops, hesitates. The defenders don't back up 1-0. The crowd start going on the back. We get another goal. We get a goal, 1-1. And then suddenly all hell breaks loose in the middle of the park. They're arguing, bum, bum, bum. Their fans will be vociferous and they'll be loud and proud. Albion will buckle. That's my prediction. I don't want them to, but I've been there so many times before. Do you remember that weekend when me and you said all we've got to do is win against Sunderland, but we didn't? I now know that it's the players' mentality and self-belief and confidence, and I think it's so battered and bruised. But saying that, I could be wrong. It's like the scales of justice and injustice. Saying all this, I still think we'll make the playoffs.
Okay. Before I say my thoughts on the Sunderland game, I've got to quickly mention two things here, Dad. One, isn't it really interesting at the moment in time that as soon as we drew against Leeds, they've got in a bit of dodgy form after that, and
Yeah,
now they have a they had a 2%
well said.
chance of dropping out the top two, and they might look like they
Well
might
said.
do.
Well
Um,
said.
and then I might quickly see it was all over Twitter yesterday. Of course, I'm not too sure if you're on Twitter as much, Dad, but Carlos Corberan, what a job he has done at Valencia. He's only lost 4 games, and I think 3 of them have been against, or maybe I think it's all four pretty much against the top 3 sides in Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and he's gone out the relegation zone.
Well, I'm still in touch with Carlos, and we had a chat the weekend, and I'm not going to divulge because it's not fair. But let's just say things weren't what you think behind the scenes at the Albion. I'm not can't say any more than that. But don't forget, Dan, it's a different league. The league is. I think the Championship is more harder than the league.
It might be, yeah, it might be, but they've got the quality players as well. Valencia, it's a fair play to Carlos
Yeah.
Corberan. I've got to quickly mention that.
Yeah,
Um,
he's not for you though. But I'll tell you what, you've done your research, and I admire you getting better and better as we speak. Is It's a person, right? I just dislike who was in charge of Valencia, and he done absolutely bugger all. Who was it?
Gary Neville.
Yeah, and he spouts all this nonsense on TV when Carlos has gone and done it. But anyway, listen. One more thing I will say is I think the Albion fans are phenomenal, and like you said, and quite rightly agree. This is only my opinion. It's only your opinion, but I've tended to be a bit more pragmatic. Now I've stepped out of the cauldron of emotions. I'll tell you what, Tim Sherwood, then I'll slate the Albion. And you know what he said at the end of the thing? Sky Sports, that's it, it's promotional. No, it's not promotional. Don't forget, Dan, it could well be, there's two sides to every story, isn't it? It could well be that because we're the draw specialists, it might get us where we need to be. So I'm
Yeah.
not downhearted. I'm not downhearted. I'm just thinking I've always said it, the Albion are their own worst enemies.
No, they
But
are.
I love the baggies, Dan.
On the Sunderland game quickly, I'm going to go for. I think we need to get a win at home, and I think we might just do that, Dad, with a bit of quality. I think I might. It's going to be a tough one. I think I might go for a 2-1 win, I'll be honest. I'm going to stay confident, as I always have done. But I'm not looking forward to seeing some of their players, especially like the likes of Joe Bellingham, Isidore. There's quite a few talented players like Romain Mundle as well. He's one of the
Who was
names
the
that I'm
one who
looking
put
forward
Madger out, Dan?
to. Don Ballard, he's out. I'm pretty sure he's out for the rest of the season, so he won't be there. Albion fans, I'm pretty
I mean,
sure. Um,
don't get me
go on.
wrong. I don't. I'm not being what's the name? I can't nasty when I say 3-1. It's just I've just had this vision last night of bloody hell.
Yeah,
But
no.
anyway, listen. If we get to that promised playoffs, anything can happen. And I actually think everybody's rooting for Frank Lampard's Coventry. I reckon they'll blow it.
Frank, huh?
Yeah.
They probably will blow it. I hope so.
Can I just say something very quickly? And I
Go on.
know it's going off on a complete tangent. I was going to text you a picture last night. Did you see that picture of your mate Wazza having a piddle up the wall on
Yeah,
his
I know.
mobile
Yeah,
phone?
awful, awful. But yeah, guys, what your score Britain put on the comment section down below. It's going to be a real tough game. Dad, I always got to ask you: is there anything you change?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't start with the same attacking players. I'd stick with Granty because I think he's got something to offer. I'd leave Adam Armstrong out for a game now.
Yeah, I think you got it, won't you?
Not just to get his hunger back, and I'd drop Swiftly. In fact, I probably wouldn't play Swift for the rest of the season.
Who knows? Would you upgrade Ian Garner? Because a lot of people mix and match about him,
No,
aren't they, as well?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No, I
Guys,
wouldn't.
what are your thoughts? What are your team, guys? Put on the comment section down below. And can you see us getting anything about the Sunderland game? Make sure you
No.
can like and subscribe and comment down below. Don't anything else to say?
Just a very quick couple of quick ones yet. I didn't realise Ted Can had gone to on loan
Forest
to
Green, you got a clean sheet.
yeah, no, so that's good, isn't it? For the so
Oh, and
the only
quickly, I was looking to mention, have you seen about the media, the suites at the Albion?
no.
No, the hospitality. I'll pull up a picture on the screen now. They've improved it all for next season. They're going to renovate it. Whatnot looks really, really nice. Actually, so fair play. I think it was to Patel's brother. I'm pretty sure who's helping out. Looks really, really good next season.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. One thing I will say is I love the Albion, and because I said 3-1 doesn't mean I don't. I just love them to bits, and I just think that you know what. the plat. Mr. Patel deserves a lot more. He's paying the wages, right? And it's so, like you said, I think what it is, it's the frustration boils over to anger, and then the anger, resentment to the players. But you know what? We're still in the hunt. I love you.
Exactly.
I love the Albion. I love Beck. I love the channel. Come
Shout out to,
on!
shout out to Josh as well for going to Norwich, a 9 hour journey, and all the fans who went.
Big up
Guys,
to
it's
the
been
big man.
so much for us as the video as always. Leave a comment down below. Dad, what time is it?
Hey,
It's
showtime!
showtime!